special guest. I just seen him walking in the pit area. Usually this gentleman over there is doing all the interviews. Mr. Doug Elkins. Doug, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Tony. How you doing, man?
Good, good. Where are you from? Cicero area, someplace out there?
Liverpool, actually.
Liverpool?
Just the other side of the lake from where the mile used to be. It used to take me longer to get to the track than it took me to get through the parking lot. So
I believe it, I believe it.
Just not by much, though.
So, what site do you do? People don't know Doug's Dirt Diary. What else you do? What exactly are you all about?
I'm all about racing at this stage of my life. I used to be a producer and director in PBS and worked in news in a lot of different areas like that. And, got a little disgruntled with the whole thing and wanted something a little, to be covering something a little more pure, a little more real. And what could be more real than dirt track racing? When I got laid off from there, I was looking for something media-wise to do. I kind of looked at what all was out there, and there's a lot of forums and things like that, and a lot of places that basically put press releases up. So we made a little list of what everybody else was doing, and we said, okay, we're not doing that. That's our not-do list. And the biggest thing we came up with was let's do audio and do it on demand. I had a friend of mine. I was working as a producer for a radio show in Syracuse, and we had one of those 8 o'clock Sunday morning time slots that nobody listens to. And I kept telling him, it's like, man, you got a great message here, but nobody's hearing it. Why don't you put the stuff online, do it on demand? Like, this was back in 2006, back when a lot of the on-demand cable stuff and everything started coming out. And he didn't do it, and I liked the idea so much, I said, well, geez, why don't I do something like that with racing? I know all these guys from working with Dirt and Glenn Donnelly for all the years, so we created Doug's Dirt Diary, audio on demand. And
how many years has it been now?
This is season 14 now.
Wow.
So it's been a while. 30th year this year, my 30th year working in racing this year. So
Approximately how many different racetracks have you announced at?
Announced?
Just a guesstimate.
I would think probably about 3 dozen, maybe somewhere in that range. So most of them in New York State, anyway.
All right, here's a real question.
Uh-huh.
Approximately how many interviews did you do in a year?
Let's see. If you probably averaged it out, it's got to be 1,200, 1,500, maybe.
That's amazing.
Somewhere right around in there. So we'll come here tonight. Like last night at Canandaigua, I think I got 25, maybe just in one night. And then some weekdays it's a little slower. You get 2 or 3 or something like that. So it adds up quickly. I can't remember what it is, but right at the top of the audio page we have the total. We have a counter that keeps track of the number of hours of audio that's up there, and it's something like 3,500, 3,800 hours. So
you have run out of questions?
Sometimes.
We all do.
It's tough because there is only so many things you can ask. But I was a morning talk show host for a long time back in early 2000s, and if you listen, a lot of times you get more questions from listening than by sitting there and going, okay, I'm going to ask them these 5 questions. And we used to have other younger people come in and do it, and somebody'd open a door with an answer, and you'd be like, sometimes the best question you can ask Tony is why. Just listen, and a lot of times the questions will come.
Probably my final question. I'm not going to guarantee it. Sometimes I change my mind.
I'm okay.
What do you think is one of the most positive things going for racing right now as a whole?
Okay.
And what's one of the most negative things that you think needs improvement as a whole, racing as a whole?
Biggest negative thing, I think, really has been social media. As much as it can be a positive, and a lot of tracks use social media. I know, like Bruda and Fulton, they use social media a lot to promote their events, and they're very good at it.
Sure.
But the negativity that like if somebody mentions Fonda on Dirt Track Digest, oh my God, here goes the threat now. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody has the perfect fix for the track. That's the biggest negative that we have to get through right now. I remember a few years ago we were coming back from a track that didn't have a great night. We just stopped at Denny's. And one of the other teams that was there was talking very loudly about it. And all they were doing was bitching and bitching and bitching. And I remember sitting there going, wow, if there's anybody in this restaurant who's thought about going to this track, they're going to hear this conversation from people who go, whoa, that place is a crap hole. I'm not going to go.
Absolutely.
So that's the biggest negative. The biggest positive, I think, and it's pretty much universal, is these race car drivers, whether you're driving a 4-cylinder like this, a sportsman or a modified, or even doing motorcycle racing or go-karts, or racing micros with your kids, it's a passion that they have, and every one of these people in this pit area has that passion. Not only only a few people are going to come out of here tonight. What, they got 3 divisions, I think, right? So there's going to be 3 winners that are coming out of here tonight. But there's going to be a lot of other people that are going to be happy, too. The driver who hasn't had a top 10 yet.
Sure.
Or the driver who's had a push they can't get rid of all season long, and then they finally get a hold of somebody and they fix it. That's the stuff that I like. And as much as you want to talk to all the big name guys, and you want to have the biggest names on your website every day, some of the best stories often come from people that most people don't know.
I've noticed
like Mr. Vic over there buying Tim Down's car and bringing that car back.
Absolutely.
I mean, Tim, we miss you horribly, and what a great story that his car is still out there today. And wouldn't it be great if he went out and won the thing tonight? Those are the stories that after 30 years in this game keep me going. It's the new people that I meet. It's the people that move up from a sportsman to a mod, or a street stock to a sportsman, or they go from a micron, like with my daughter, racing with her. Yeah, it's just been so much fun to learn.
And she's running the vintage cars.
She's running with the Dirt Modified Nostalgia Tour, yep. And it's fun to see the little steps that people take along the way. From, okay, I got lapped in the heat race, to, okay, now I'm keeping up. Ooh, now I made my first competitive pass. Now I won my first heat. I love seeing that progression, because the sport is a lot harder than people who haven't driven have any idea. You've driven, Tony. You know. It's
let me go to memory lane. Didn't you have a 4-cylinder win at Brewerton a few years back?
Back in 2011, yep. Best summer of my life. I'll tell you that right now. My wife always gives me crap, Oh, wedding day, your feature win. It's like, well.
That was really your wedding day?
No, I have to compare the wedding day to your feature win.
Gotcha.
Well, I don't know. That feature win was pretty good. Yeah, you're a great girl, but, and it was fantastic to do it. And it taught me a lot, and it made me better at covering this stuff, because I went through all those little milestones along the way too. First time I got in a car, my wife jokes that a 3-legged dog could have ran right by me. It was that bad. So it's intimidating. It's the most intense thing you'll ever do, and if anything, that gave me more respect. And I didn't think I could have any more respect for these drivers, but after doing that, it's like, wow, how do these people do it? I don't.
That's what I said. If someone has tons of money, let every fan go out, do a couple laps, see how they do.
Yeah, and if you get a chance, like I know they have some driving experiences.
For sure.
Rusty Wallace's driving experience, and they don't let people that have driven do it. So it's really designed for newcomers. And of course, these video games nowadays, iRacing and stuff, they're so accurate. You can actually learn how to race, and then when you do get a chance, if you do, you're ready. Of course, being able to. We were watching Justin Harris out there hot lapping at the end of the night. I was talking with, who's over in turn 4, the flagger there. I can't think of his name at Canada.
Yeah, I know.
I was talking to him, and I was like, man, wouldn't you love to do that just once, be out there? He went in the corner, just burped it for a second, right back on it, left front off the ground, driving off the right front. And I'm like, man, I'd love to do that once. And he says, yeah, so would I. And he says, can you do that? I said, yeah, the video games. Right. Not in the real one.
For sure. Hey, Doug, thank you so much for what you do for motorsports. I mean, you help everyone out. It's awesome what you do. Much appreciated. Again, Doug's Dirt Diary.
Check me out, man. New stuff every day. I mean, every morning, and we're there waiting for you. Have your coffee with me, or and if you got requests, Doug@DougsDirtDiary.com. Shoot them to me. I'd be happy to get your favorite driver on.
Thanks for coming to Genesee Speedway.
Happy to be here. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Have a good one, Doug.